Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel DIY with Minijan. I am Nishant and this is my basement workshop. In this video I will show you unboxing and setup of this mini lathe. Since this machine is really heavy at about 40 kilos, it's really difficult for one person to set it up. So I did the unboxing part off camera and this is exactly how it comes out of the box. Everything is pre-assembled and there are a few accessories and an instruction manual. I will show you how to set up those accessories and make the lathe ready for use. The first thing that we have is the handle for the tail stock. I'll just fix it. The second thing is the face plate that we will mount on the rotating head of the lathe. You can just fix it here and that will lock the rotating head. And then you can tighten the face plate using this wrench provided with the lathe. And then we have the spur head for the rotating part. The tailstock head has a bearing over here. Everything else is fixed. Even the tapered rod is fixed. So just the head will rotate on the bearing. So that's all. Those are the few accessories that we have to install. Before starting the machine, you need to make sure that the belt is set up properly. And to do that, you have to open this. These are belt covers for the top part and there's a belt cover for the bottom part on the side. Now these are made of plastic and it's really flimsy plastic, but if you happen to damage one of these, you could just replace it with an acrylic sheet of the same dimension. Now before turning it around, I will quickly show you what all the levers on the other side are for. This lever is used to loosen the tailstock so that you can move it in position and then lock it back again. So I will loosen it and then I can lock it back in place. So if my workpiece was this much and if it had touched the workpiece, then I could tighten it back. This lever is used to loosen the tailstock. So when it's loose, I can just rotate this and it will further compress the workpiece and hold it tightly. And when I feel that the workpiece is securely held, then I can tighten this lever back again. After that, we cannot move the tailstock. This is the tool rest. There's a lever towards me which is used to loosen the tool rest. And then you can adjust its position. Then when I tighten it, it will be held securely in place. This lever is used to adjust the height of tool rest. I can lock it back in place wherever it's required. And I can even rotate it if I'm turning a bowl or some other small piece. So that's all. I'll just turn it around and show you the other side. And then I'll show you the specifications of this lathe. So now I have turned it around. So this is the lever that's used to loosen the tool rest. This lever over here is used to loosen the motor so you can adjust the belt tension or change the speed of the lathe. Make sure the lathe is unplugged when you are doing all these setups. This is the switch part. It's provided with a magnetic switch so that if there is a power outage, the lathe will not get powered up by itself. Now that the lathe is set up, I will quickly explain the configuration and specifications of this lathe. I have purchased this machine in India, so it comes with 220 volts. And there might be some differences depending on region or regulations on your country. But the basic structure and functioning of the lathe remains the same. The cast iron parts remain the same. There might be some differences in the motor and the switch part. Now this machine is sold in many countries under different brand names, and with different brand names they are given different color combinations to suit the brand identity. It's easy to identify once you know the specifications of this. So first thing that I'm going to explain is the model number of this lathe is 1218. Now what that means is there's a 6-inch distance between the lathe bed and the spur center. So I can fix up to 12 inches on this using a chuck. You cannot fix a flat piece on the spur. This machine is not provided with a chuck. And this part is 18 inches. So I can fit a piece that's 18 inches by 12 inches. Now if you're going to fit a cylinder of 18 by 12, this machine might not be able to work on that because it's a small machine designed for small jobs. So if you have a thin stock up to 2 inches, 3 inches, then you can fit that between the two heads. Or if you have a bowl that's about 10-12 inches but not very wide, you can use a chuck and fit that on the main head of the machine. The second thing to know about this machine is the motor is 550 watts. In your region it might be specified in horsepower. 550 is about 3 by 4 horsepower. If you want to fix an aftermarket chuck on this machine, you can use a chuck that has an M33 by 3.5 threads, or you can use a chuck that could be mounted on the faceplate. So this is the belt and pulley system of the machine. The belt is a polyurethane belt. It's different from the V-shaped belt that you would see on the drill press, and the pulley system is also different. A similar pulley is installed down here, but the opening is on the side, so I couldn't focus on both at the same time. The bottom pulley is reverse of this pulley. There's a small chart on the covering of this to adjust the speed. It indicates that which combination yields how many RPMs. There is another version of this machine that comes with a digital display over here, and a small box is installed on the side. So you can, by just turning a knob, you can adjust the speed of that machine, but it's much more expensive than this, and the other structure is exactly the same, so I opted for this model. Now about the belt tensioning, you just have to make sure that you can slightly press the belt after you have tightened the motor. If the belt is too tight, it will prematurely wear out, or if it's too loose, you will not get enough torque from the motor on your workpiece, as the belt will keep slipping on the pulley. I will install the covers back and run it on the lowest speed. Before concluding this video, I would like to highlight some points. When you open the machine, it's covered in machine oil. You have to clean that using mineral spirit. Do not use a petrol-based solvent, as it might damage the paint job on your machine. Second thing is that the pulley is installed on the medium speed. So when you start the machine, you want it on to be on lower speed, so that if there are any issues, then you can identify that at low speed, so it's less dangerous. The instruction manual provided with this machine, it doesn't cover anything about setting up the machine or any other technical data. All it has is safety instructions and a part list like this, but everything is installed, so it's basically not of much use to the end user. Now some good features about this machine is that it's really heavy, so when you keep it in one place, it's going to stay there. You don't need any extra support or extra clamps to keep it stable. Second thing is that the motor is really quiet. Of course, that will make a lot of noise when you have a workpiece and you're chiseling it out, but the machine itself is really quiet. I will just install a workpiece and run this machine. Since this is a setup video, I will just turn the machine on for a few seconds. Make sure that the teeth of a spur are decently seated in the wood, because if it's not, the piece could come flying at you. And rotate the piece once, one complete rotation, to check if there's any disbalance or if it's touching the tool rest on any other part of the machine. I will be making more videos on this as I keep working with the lathe. Well, that's all for this video. I hope it was helpful to you and you found some good points on deciding which lathe you would like to buy. If you are looking for this particular model, then it comes under the name of MCS450 or MC1218. 450 is the length that could be turned on this, and 1218 is the width and length. So that way you can identify the capacity of machine using the model number. If you liked the video, then please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will keep posting more DIY content.